I wonder how you're spending this afternoon. Probably watching the tennis. If you're into Wimbledon, the British tennis player Arthur Fery started Wimbledon this year as a relative unknown. He has since been on a career-first tournament run as the wild card, beating the Italian Flavio Cobolli in the quarter-final, and this afternoon facing the second seed Alexander Zverev. But who is Arthur Fery? Is he on the cusp of becoming a global superstar? Joining us to discuss this is his former coach, Paul Goldstein. Paul, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
When did you first come across Arthur Fery?
I think the first time I came across him was around his 11th grade year, when he was sort of in the midst of his high school career. That's when our recruiting process for colleges in the States tends to begin. And we were really the beneficiaries and fortunate to have the opportunity to work with Arthur for 3 years at Stanford University. The one thing I would want to say is I'm sure many people are watching Arthur play for the first time over this fortnight at Wimbledon and seeing what exceptional tennis he's capable of playing. What I want to share is that the quality of his tennis is surpassed only by the quality of the person.
Oh, well, that is so brilliant. That is so brilliant. We'll get onto his character in a moment or two. You flew, having had some email correspondence with Arthur, you flew over to England to watch him play at Wimbledon to sort of, I guess, see for yourself what he could actually do. What were your initial impressions?
Well, my heart is filled with joy for Arthur. As I mentioned, he's a better person than he is a human, and to see wonderful things happen to good people just fills your heart. It's a true credit to Arthur, his team, for the moments that he's experiencing over these couple of weeks. So I'm just thrilled for him.
We are too, as you can imagine, and the atmosphere at Wimbledon will be completely electric. I know you wanted to be here to watch him. How complicated was it to, at fairly short notice, get yourself over here and get yourself a ticket for Wimbledon?
Well, he was playing in the round of 16, first time he ever stepped foot on center court at Wimbledon, despite not 5 minutes down the road. It's an incredible story. And during that match against Grigor Dimitrov, a former top 10 player in the world, 5 sets, I'm watching that match and saying to myself, if he gets through this, I am on the next plane. And sure enough, he wins the final point. He's shaking hands, and I'm pretty sure I was on the phone with the travel agent before he was shaking hands. And so getting over here was no problem. And I'm just thrilled to be here and be an observer supporting Arthur along with the rest of the UK.
Have you had much conversation with him between then and today?
No, very little. He is one of the things that is so challenging is he's going through this incredible run. The demands on his time are so extraordinary. So actually, at the beginning of the week when I was home in the United States in California, I was having more communication than when I'm here. He's got a great routine going. The last thing I want to do is disrupt that routine. He and his team are doing such a phenomenal job. They shouldn't change a thing. Last thing they need to do is talk to me. I'm just thrilled to be in the arena supporting them.
You haven't even sent a good luck text.
A good luck text here or there, but nothing more.
Okay, yeah, for sure. It must be quite interesting. When you watch him play, can you see any of the sort of things or techniques that you taught him in how he plays today?
I don't know that I would say I taught him, because even though I coached him for 3 years, I'm not sure he listened to me anyway. But what I want to say is how much he has improved over the course of the last few years. Always had certain aspects of his game were world-class, elite-level tennis, and true credit to him and his team for the things that he has improved over the last 3 years. Another thing I'd mention is that this is his 3rd year on tour. His first 2 years were marked largely by injury, and so he hasn't had the chance to play a complete season. This is the first year, calendar year 2026, that he's been able to play kind of a complete season. So while he came into the tournament ranked number 114, I think anyone who knows Arthur in the tennis world knows that this tennis was in him, and it just so happens that he was battling some injuries the last couple of years. He's been healthy this year. You're seeing the results of that, and while we need to stop and reflect that there are 4 men standing in the draw in Wimbledon. One of them is a guy named Djokovic. One of them is a guy named Sinner. One of them is a guy named Zverev. And one of them is a guy named Arthur Fery. It is an incredible accomplishment. And he's got a great chance today against the number 2 player in the world.
Yeah, that's actually really encouraging to think he does have a really good chance later on. We've been hearing about some of his pre-match preparation, which also includes things like watching The Godfather 2. How do you calm your nerves ahead of what for him is going to be such a monumental moment in his life this afternoon?
Well, I think watching The Godfather 2 is your answer. I think just more than anything, more than the quality of tennis, you have to be impressed with his poise and composure. Here's a young man who steps out onto center court for the first time in his life on Monday, facing a global champion, having a really competitive match that went back and forth. He was down in the 4th set of break not once but twice, maintained his composure, competed with composure, handled himself with class, and was able to execute under intense pressure. And so more than striking the ball, I'm impressed with his poise and composure that he's displayed over the course of the whole tournament, really. People aren't talking about it, but in the very first round, he's about to play his 6th match of the tournament. In the first round, he was down a set and a break. In the 3rd round, he was down double break in the 4th set. These are really sort of deep holes to dig yourselves out of, and he was able to do that. And then perhaps most impressively, in the quarterfinals on Wednesday, beat the defending Roland Garros finalist just 3 weeks ago. Flavio Cobolli was in the finals, and Arthur really controlled that entire match. And in the final set, played as close to perfection of tennis as you can play, winning 6-0 in the final set. He must have been seeing the ball like a beach ball. Every time he made contact, he put a quality hit on the ball. So he's playing phenomenal tennis. Got a real challenge today against world number 2, Sasha Zverev, who happens to have the best serve in the world. And so it's a different type of challenge that Arthur faces today.
It will be.
But at some level, that's besides the point. Where he is right now is just a phenomenal story, and I'm thrilled for him.
He also has to deal with what we saw in the last match, nosebleeds. When you've got something unusual like that you've got to contend with while you're playing, what's the kind of mental challenge of managing that and trying to play the game?
You know, we talk a lot of times in sport about sort of dealing with the controllables. I'm not sure that I'd put a nosebleed in the category of controllable. I think it happened a little bit in round 3 in particular. He seems to have gotten that under control in the last couple of rounds. So I'm not anticipating a concern there. The other thing I'm really excited about for Arthur, I want him to obviously stay focused on this moment, but regardless of what happens today, the worst he could possibly be is number 36 in the world starting on Monday. He's got loads of opportunity ahead of him. He's going to be main draw of the Grand Slams, the 500s, the biggest tournaments the world has to offer. He's the number 1 Brit after this tournament. And so he's got tremendous opportunity ahead of him. And as excited as I am for him today, and as good of a job as he's staying in the moment, staying present, not letting all the external noise, by watching Godfather 2 instead of being on social media, it's really a testament to how he's focusing on the moment. Paul, I'm excited for what's ahead of him the next 6 months and beyond.
So are we. Paul, thank you. Paul Goldstein, the former coach to Arthur Fery. Taught him for 3 years.
That's brilliant.
And the game's going to start at 1:30.
Yes.
They've moved it so that there's not a World Cup clash because, of course, we're at this sort of pinnacle of sport and everything exciting. We've got Arthur Fery in the semi-finals today. Then, of course, England play tomorrow against Norway. So lots to come.